With that recent action, Cristiano Ronaldo caused $4 billion of Coca-Cola to evaporate. The press considered this a massive loss. But for Coca-Cola, it was not even worth worrying about. Throughout its long existence, they have faced many crises even bigger than that, being accused of having addictive substances in their product, being suppressed by the media, or being threatened by war. All these challenges were managed through highly sophisticated, often ethically ambiguous tactics. The question remains, what were these methods, and what truths lie beneath the familiar sweetness we consume daily? The early 20th century marked a period of explosive demographic change in the United States. The population surged from 50 million in 1880 to 91 million just 3 decades later. This boom fueled the rise of factories, enterprises, and with them, capitalism, the driving force behind the new advertising industry. Businesses began investing heavily to introduce their products, giving consumers more information for comparison and selection. Yet, this information explosion harbored a hidden danger, especially in the medical field, which was then in dire straits. Before the advent of truly groundbreaking research, physicians primarily relied on heroic medicine, a treatment regimen of aggressive, high-risk interventions intended to save patients in critical condition. These included bloodletting, inducing vomiting, and forced sweating to rebalance the body. Surgery was practically a lottery. Patients often succumbed to wound infection rather than their original ailment. This catastrophic lack of trust sparked a widespread boycott of modern medicine, thrusting traditional methods and herbal remedies into the forefront. This created a lucrative opening for exploiters who marketed various concoctions as patented medicines. These medicines were, in fact, mixtures of stimulants designed to target the nervous system and offer temporary pain relief. The most notable predecessor was Vin Mariani, a potent blend of wine and cocaine. Advertised as a panacea with just 3 glasses daily, its popularity soared. Among its users was John Pemberton, a veteran whose health was ruined and who was addicted to morphine for chronic pain. Pemberton found Vin Mariani's cocaine component to be a perfect substitute. Recognizing its massive commercial potential, the pharmacist set out to create his own version, launching French wine Coca in 1884. It was essentially the original formula with minor additions, marketed to exaggerate its medicinal effects. However, the rapid enactment of prohibition laws forced Pemberton to replace the wine with carbonated water. This initial change made the product bitter, a problem quickly masked by sugar. The name, French wine Coca, was no longer accurate. His bookkeeper proposed the new name, Coca-Cola, directly referencing the 2 main ingredients, the cola nut, caffeine, and the coca leaf, cocaine. Despite Pemberton's efforts to market it as a nerve and stomach tonic, the market was saturated. Sales were dismal, averaging only 9 glasses daily in the first year. His morphine addiction worsened, and Pemberton died in 1888, his vision unrealized. The true potential was grasped by Asa Griggs Candler, to whom Pemberton had sold the formula for $2,300. Candler established the Coca-Cola Company in 1892, securing the trademark and formula. While business improved, Candler demanded greater success, initiating sweeping advertising campaigns. The distinctive red logo became ubiquitous, appearing on calendars, clocks, bookmarks, and across newspapers, embedding Coca-Cola deep into the American visual landscape. Sales figures confirmed the strategy's effectiveness. A quadrupling of volume from 8,220 liters in 1889 to 33,530 liters the following year, culminating in 288,700 liters by 1895. Candler then launched a revolutionary marketing tactic, the free tasting coupon. Company agents distributed millions of coupons, and free syrup was provided to soda fountains. By 1913, an estimated 1 in 9 Americans had sampled the drink, a calculated move as the addictive nature ensured repeat customers. Yet, Candler saw a limit. The association with medicine was restrictive. he steered the brand toward being a universal refreshment. The resulting media frenzy propelled sales, featuring movie stars and athletes endorsing the product. By 1895, Candler proudly declared Coca-Cola present in every part of the United States, marking the beginning of a powerful empire that would later be tainted by dark tactics. Everyone loves Coca-Cola. They drink it anytime, anywhere, without paying attention to one truth. The original formula contained significant amounts of cocaine. An analysis of Pemberton's French wine Coca showed up to 56 grams of coca leaf in a single bottle, a factor that undoubtedly drove addiction. Astonishingly, the ingredient was removed in 1903, not for health reasons, but because of racial discrimination. The move to bottling in 1899 was a major turning point. Before this, the drink was primarily served at soda fountains, limiting access. Bottling transformed it into a portable, perfect solution for addicts and fans alike, quickly becoming a phenomenon. More than 36 million bottles were sold in the first year, with a large segment of consumption coming from black workers. This was a direct result of the Jim Crow laws, which prohibited people of color from entering segregated soda shops where the drink was sold. As Coca-Cola spread across the South, the black working class embraced the sweet refreshment to alleviate daily fatigue. Ironically, this popularity among black consumers triggered an ugly backlash from white society. Warnings about a so-called black cocaine danger spread, amplified by media stereotypes of drug-crazed black men. Candler's reassurances that the cocaine content was negligible failed to quell the panic. The Atlanta Constitution warned of Coca-Cola creating addicts in the black community. Bowing to intense pressure, Candler was forced to adjust the formula, advertising the new product as completely cocaine-free. The replacement was cryptically named Merchandise Number 5. Intriguingly, the coca leaf component remains in the formula to this day, long after the removal of cocaine. In 1911, the United States government began regulating narcotics, culminating in the Harrison Act in 1922. However, Coca-Cola's status as a national brand afforded it an extraordinary legal exception. The Harrison Act banned coca leaf imports, but uniquely allowed the import of decoconized coca leaves. This exclusive right was granted to only one company, Maywood Chemical Works in New Jersey. They extract the cocaine, sold to Mallinckrodt Pharmaceuticals for medical use, and sell the processed, denatured leaves to Coca-Cola. This created a serious legal loophole, permitting the import of coca leaves even as other substances like heroin and cannabis were strictly banned. The loophole was silently protected. The Atlantic reported that in 2003, Maywood imported over 174 tons of coca leaves, capable of producing $200 million in cocaine. Many suspect this vast quantity indirectly feeds drug trafficking organizations, with accusations throughout the 20th century that refined cocaine was leaked into the global market. Yet, despite these moral and legal quagmires, Coca-Cola has never dropped the coca leaf ingredient. The stunning reason, as written by former Federal Bureau of Narcotics Commissioner Harry Anslinger in 1951, was simply to preserve the word Coca in the brand name, a name built with millions of dollars. Today, the corporation maintains a supply chain directly related to cocaine, creating the paradox of a national brand intertwined with the very substance the United States declared war on in the war on drugs. Deeper historical analysis reveals this pattern is not an anomaly. For economic gain, ethical values were repeatedly cast aside, even extending to profiting from war and tacitly supporting genocidal fascists. In the 1930s, Coca-Cola sponsored campaigns targeting the United States military, positioning the drink as an essential tool to boost soldiers' morale. When World War II erupted, the brand skillfully conflated itself with patriotism and the American war effort, leveraging government support to build overseas bottling plants, ostensibly to bring a taste of home to every soldier. Engineers installing these lines were deemed as vital as mechanics repairing tanks. Thus, Coca-Cola followed the troops, turning local populations into loyal customers. While other businesses collapsed, Coca-Cola flourished on the spoils of war. More controversially, while maintaining its patriotic image in the United States, Coca-Cola continued to profit from Nazi Germany. The brand was established in Germany in 1929, reaching over 100,000 crates in sales by 1933, the year Hitler took power. President Robert Woodruff understood the risks, but prioritized the rapidly growing German market's global profit contribution. To mitigate political issues, Max Keith, a German businessman, was appointed to run the local operation. Facing an initial challenge, German adults preferred beer, Keith shrewdly began to align the brand with the Hitler regime to harness national spirit. Starting in 1933, Coca-Cola was marketed as a local product to the working class. Sales doubled to 234,000 crates by 1934. Keith integrated the brand into major Nazi events, including the Berlin Olympics in 1936 and Hitler Youth rallies. He even set up a bottling line display for the Ministry of Propaganda's Labor Exhibition. After the annexation of Austria, Keith proudly organized a convention under a giant swastika flag. When a competitor spread a rumor that Coca-Cola was Jewish-owned, Keith publicly denied it in Der Stürmer, a notorious anti-Semitic newspaper. Despite this aggressive marketing and its ties to the Hitler regime, Coca-Cola faced severe challenges from Hermann Göring's four-year plan in 1936, which aimed for a German autarkic economy by limiting imports. Though the company struggled to prove its purely German status, its connections in New York banks saved the branch from a Jewish boycott. However, by 1939, American ingredients could no longer be shipped. To keep the German branch alive, Keith invented a new product from agricultural byproducts and apple pulp. This is how Fanta was born. In the wartime environment of scarcity, Fanta became an instant craze, ensuring that Coca-Cola's profits flowed steadily back to Atlanta, even if under a different name. The American public remained blissfully unaware, seeing Coca-Cola only as a symbol of wartime courage. Post-war documents revealed Coca-Cola's deception, leading to criticisms of its opportunism and willingness to compromise with the fascist regime for profit. Yet, Coca-Cola remains one of the most recognizable brands globally. Why? The answer lies in the marketing shift of the 1990s. Facing fierce competition, Coca-Cola chose an unconventional target: children. The company poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into securing exclusive vending rights in schools, positioning itself as a generous patron in the face of tight education budgets. Researchers term this the cradle-to-grave strategy, designed to create lifelong loyal customers. The brand was everywhere, on toys, dolls, and through advertisements aimed at adults that were most impactful on the susceptible minds of children. The iconic image of Santa Claus holding a cold bottle of Coke during Christmas is a lasting testament to this. In 1982, the company invested in Columbia Pictures to embed its products in family films, later continuing to fund Hollywood for deep penetration into popular culture. This strategy was so effective that studies show even infants can recognize the brand. Despite mounting data since the 1980s linking Coca-Cola to serious health issues like tooth decay, diabetes, and obesity, they doubled down on advertising to children. Revenue soared, and the brand fused itself with consumer emotions. Coca-Cola evolved from a tonic into a global brand, selling not just a product, but memories, joy, and connection. This emotional investment is the justification for the billions of dollars spent on advertising, resulting in 94% of the world's population recognizes that red color instantly. Despite persistent criticisms over its harmful ingredients, ethical failings, and political maneuvering, Coca-Cola endures. It knows how to be the public's old friend. Even when a global football star removes its product from view, Coca-Cola still wins because there is no form of free advertising that could ever be so impactful. Hope this video brought you some joy knowledge. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And most importantly, please like and subscribe to the channel so I have the motivation to make the next video.